What is on my mind? You know, I have ways of trying to deal with what I'm dealing with, and kind of learned how to deal with some things, and some things not so good, I mean, mentally. But one of the things is that as you get older, it becomes more and more apparent that, especially in this country where we don't respect people who are older, that people are just wanting to push you out of the way, to get rid of you as quickly as they can. And you're kind of on your own, unfortunately. Oh no, it looks like the road is closed. And I mean, like everything, like you're driving. Like the other day, weeks ago, I was driving through here, and somebody was basically hogging the road and wouldn't let anybody pass. It's like, whatever. It's your problem, not mine. I just avoid you. But, yeah, and I mean everywhere and everything. So it's kind of like, it's hard not to give people ammunition against you. Oh, I'm catching the side of something. Because we all make mistakes, and So I don't know what I'm saying. Again, I'm rambling, and last week I rambled, and it's nothing but me talking and driving, and so. Oh, there goes another train. So maybe, just got to get on with it and try and find some things that are more interesting and exciting. Yeah, it's summer, it's warm, and I think I might try and get the kiddos. I don't know, they're probably already in their pajamas by now. Maybe take them to the park. But no promises. I like that underground house. That's pretty cool. And School of Rock. Parkville is weird. And this street is beautiful. I don't know why I don't take this more often too. I always want to go through the heart of town. It says road closed to true traffic, but I bet you I could get through. But I don't know. I need to go a different way anyway. Always take a different route and get yourself lost and figure out how to get back. And that's how you will find your way back no matter what. You'll never be lost after that. You'll be like, oh yeah, I remember, I could take this way. Don't take the main highways. You won't see anything from the main highways anyway, except people who are just ready to ignore you and obsessed with noses in their 2 inches in front of or 1 inch, half an inch in front of their noses as far as they want to see. Take the road less traveled, or what is it we say? Take America's back roads. That's where you'll find us. Yep. I need to make that into more t-shirts. I've got a Patreon account started. That's for my my kind of like little business venture of trying to help people with their coverage needs of events, because I witnessed too many times an event happens and the only coverage they get is somebody with a cell phone, which I always hold in portrait and not landscape. And I've got the live streaming tools and the abilities and the skills, and I just stream it to whatever you want, and people can watch it there. And maybe tomorrow there's only 10 people who watched it, but 5 years from now there's 1,000 people who watched it and went, oh yeah, I remember that. So it lives on. And there's too many events where we just kind of rely on the powers that be to notice us, and it's just not going to happen unless we do it for ourselves. And so I want to be the person that facilitates that. It gets people some high quality coverage of their things, and maybe it's nothing but a few people in the family who want to see it, but that's still a few people in the family who have it, you know? Or maybe it's something that just totally goes viral, which I'd never count on that anyway. And the thing is, too, about that, there are a lot of people out there who start businesses and they want the $6,000 commission for their business, and there's nobody that's willing to do it for the little things, you know, the things that need coverage but don't have the thousands of people interested, millions of people interested. Thus, you know, there's got to be room for everything other than number one, you know, the top of the charts or anything. There's got to be stuff for everyone, because a lot of the stuff that happens needs to be documented, needs to be put into people's memory. Because a lot of things, believe it or not, they happen and then they get talked about later on down the road. It's like everything, you know. We cry about, let's say, there's a car that goes to the junkyard, and then it sits in the junkyard for maybe 20, 30, 40 years, and then somebody says, I need money for scrap metal, and they scrap it. And then 60 years down the line, somebody says, that was a very rare, precious car. I can't find anything in that car, even junk cars like that, for under $60,000. How could you have scrapped it? And I'm like, well, at the time that it was scrapped, that's all it was worth, was just scrap value, you know? And it's like, you know, like videotaping an event or documenting an event. People just kind of, who cares? You know, you know, you're a loser and those people are losers. And then 20, 30 years down the line, you were there? Oh my God, that was, I can't believe there weren't more people who were there that documented it. And I'm like, well, so there's value in it. There's a lot of value, and I'm willing to set up a Patreon and say, hey, if you want this, oops. Sorry about that. If you want this, and just, you know, chip in a little bit, and I'll come out and do it, and I can make something off of it. You know, I can provide for myself and my family, and you'll have that for posterity. And there's a lot of history that works that way. And how many times do historians, it is more often than you'd realize it, do historians find something that's hidden in a trunk in somebody's attic, a letter or a document or something that actually changes the way we look at history, the way we see things? Oh, it happens a lot. As a matter of fact, history is a science. It's not an art. It's not like, I don't know how to describe it. It's a science. It's a very scientific method used in rediscovering history. And we always find out that the things that we thought that we held dear and precious, it turns out they get changed or modified by the documentary evidence that people find, oftentimes sitting forgotten in somebody's attic. You know, there's no value to this. How much of this stuff gets thrown out by somebody who was cleaning house and said, there's no value, what is this? You know, we hear about somebody discovering an original document in their house that turns out monetarily it's priceless, and they end up, you know, being rich from selling it. But we never hear about the many times that something gets thrown out. Or if we do, we hear about somebody threw something out or sold it at a yard sale for 25 cents, and it turns out that it was a priceless artifact. How about, you know, somebody sold an original Rembrandt for $10 at a yard sale, and the person went and had it appraised and found out it's a priceless work of art, you know? The person who sold it for $10 doesn't get anything out of it. They can't come back later and say, I didn't know. And they're like, well, you should have known. So that's what I'm saying about this stuff. What is valueless to you is priceless to the person it's close to. We just went through a funeral and I recorded it, and it's like a crappy recording of a Facebook live stream. And when I put it somewhere and post it right now, there's a lot of things I want to post, and I have an idea how to post it. It's just too soon, let's just put it that way. And a lot of people are very sensitive and upset about things. But that won't always be, and eventually they'll go, I'm glad you have that. I'm glad you did it. Well, sorry for the wind noise. I had the windows open and the air going, so air is going for my crap on my dash. So anyway, I'm going to wrap this up here because it's gone too long. I've spoken so much that I filled the space I usually fill with a blog, and like last week, that's all I did was talk. But last week was a very emotional time. It's still very raw, but we're getting through it.